L'Union soviétique, from the Soviet Union, Larisa Selezneva-Oleg Makarov.
The enigmatic pair from Leningrad, Selezneva and Makarov, are by far the most seasoned of the pairs here. He's now 27 and she's 26. They were European champions in 1987 and 89. They were second in Europe this year. They weren't at the Worlds last year. They were World Junior champions way back in 1980 and 81.
And Ted, their career has been erratic, to say the least. Sometimes they skate very, very well. Other times they completely blow apart, like the Olympics in 1988 in Calgary. But this would be the only pair that could push Brasseur and Iso out of the third spot.
Well, if they skate well, they can do it. They are very seasoned. They know just about anything that can happen at this stage of the game.
Very good double axels and an excellent double twist lift right at the beginning. Many people don't like their style, which they find to be aggressive. I personally do. I have always admired them. But particularly as single skaters, they're probably the strongest in the competition.
And you say aggressive, and I dare say that she is even more aggressive than he is.
I think you have a point there, Ted.
I mean, she's all business out there tonight, isn't she?
This is really also a question of, with an original program, I think that their approach is definitely original. It's unlike any that we've seen. The big question is, do you like it, and do you prefer it to their teammates, Ishkatunev and Dmitriev, who skated to the Swan, which for me was more appealing. But this is really a question where personal taste comes into play.
Well, right now, Gordiev and Brinkhoff are in front. Then the second Soviet couple, Brasseur and Eisler, in third place. What will happen when Selezneva and Makarov's marks come out?
The audience liked them, I liked them, but I think with the top three couples, it's really a question of which one do you prefer. It's certainly not because they made any mistakes, at least no mistakes that I saw, and I particularly liked the individual skating, namely the double axels, which were masterfully done. Standing ovation here must mean something.
You know, it's really wonderful, caller. There are about half as many people in this building as there were in Leningrad, and they're making 10 times as much noise as the Soviet fans made, even for Soviet skaters. That's the difference in audiences around the world. These people love it.
Canadian audiences have always been very discriminating and very enthusiastic about figure skating, and the people in Halifax are no exception to that.
They certainly aren't. They love it here, and no matter what country the skaters come from, if they see a performance they like, they're going to let everybody know about it.
In fairness to the Soviet audience as well, I think the same applies, because we remember the Duchenes, and they certainly were not
fair.
Very fair and very discriminating and very knowledgeable.
Here come the marks for required elements. And what are they getting? They're getting 5.8, a 5.5 from Canada's Frances Defoe. She obviously didn't like them that much. She put them down. She'd probably give them a higher mark for artistic. But I think with those marks, they're going to be able to move past Brasseur and Eisler of Canada. Let's just make sure, though, first of all, with their marks for artistic, which are coming now. Well, Francis did go up a little bit and gave them a 5.7 there. And those are
5-4, 5-5.
Well, they have one first place mark and a lot of third place marks, and they are now in third place. They have moved ahead of Canada's Brasura and Eisler, so Soviets are standing 1, 2, 3 with Gordiev and Grinkov, the reigning world champions, in first place.
Thank you.
All right, Ted, a very happy night for Lloyd Eisler from Seaforth, Ontario, and Isabelle Brasseur from Boucherville, Quebec, as they are standing in the number 4 position. It's a happy night for that team. It has been a disappointing night, I would say, Ted and Toller, for the Canadian team, the silver medalists, Landry and Johnston.
Yes, Brian, and what it just proved, once again, we've seen it so frequently, you make one error in the original program, and that's the ball game, generally.
And, Ted, so often it's the errors in the individual skating. But, again, I have to congratulate Isabelle and Lloyd for their performance. Tremendous comeback and tremendous improvement from their performance over Paris, and I really hope that they'll be able to skate well tomorrow, and potentially they'll be able to win a medal. But they've got tough competition.
Well, they really have. It's the age-old story again in pairs skating. Right now you have Soviet pairs 1, 2, and 3, and it seems that forever thus. The major problem is to try and break in. It was done last year. It's going to be very, very difficult for anybody from any other country to do it again this year, but we'll see when they skate their long program tomorrow evening, Brian.
All right, the long program tomorrow evening. Tracy Wilson also tomorrow evening. Highlights from the men's original program. A big day for Kurt Brown.
Well, this is going to be the big one for Kurt. He's had a little bit of trouble this year with his short program, and so we're going to be looking to him to come through with a strong program and move into first place.
Now, you know Kurt very, very well, as the lights have just gone down here in the Met Center in Halifax. He tends to thrive on adversity. I mean, he fell 4 or 5 times here Sunday, then came back and put on a sensational show in the compulsories we saw earlier tonight.
He loves the pressure, and he's been skating really well. Yesterday, he had a clean short, beginning to end, and I think he can do it again tomorrow night.
All right, Tracy Wilson, we've enjoyed having you with us tonight. Just a reminder, we're on the air tomorrow night, 9 o'clock live here in the Maritimes, 8 to 10, with a 2-hour show in the rest of the country. For Ted Reynolds, Toller Cranston, and Tracy Wilson, I'm Brian Williams. Good night from Halifax.
The original program was